Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about something super important for anyone looking to buy a used car, a thorough pre-purchase inspection. Buying a used car can be a bit of a gamble, right? You don't know where that car's been, what it's seen, or how well it's been treated. That's why it's absolutely crucial to do your due diligence and give any potential purchase a proper once-over. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doug, this seems like a lot of work. And you know what? You're right, it is. But trust me, it's way better to put in the effort up front than to end up with a lemon that's going to cost you thousands down the line. So, whether you're a seasoned mechanic or you can't tell a dipstick from a door handle, this video is your comprehensive guide to inspecting a used car like a pro. We're going to cover everything from checking the exterior and interior to examining the engine bay and taking it for a spin. Alright, so you found a car that piques your interest. Fantastic. Now before you even think about popping the hood or taking it for a spin, let's start with the basics. A thorough visual inspection of the exterior. First things first, grab yourself a nice bright flashlight. You're gonna need it. Walk slowly around the car, taking your time to really examine the body panels. You're looking for any signs of damage like dents, scratches, or, God forbid, rust. Now a few minor imperfections are to be expected on a used car. After all, it's not brand new, right? But what you want to watch out for are any signs of shoddy repairs, like mismatched paint or uneven panel gaps. These could be red flags indicating previous accident damage. Speaking of paint, a handy tool to have in your arsenal is a paint thickness gauge. This little gadget can help you determine if a car has been repainted, which could be a sign of accident repairs or even rust concealment. Once you've given the body a good once-over, it's time to direct our attention to the rubber that meets the road, the tires. Now, tires might not be the most glamorous part of a car, but they're absolutely essential for safety and performance. So, what are we looking for here? Well, first and foremost, check the overall condition of the tires. Are they all the same brand and model? Mismatched tires can be a sign of neglect or even suspension issues. Next, take a close look at the tread wear. Uneven wear patterns, like excessive wear on one side or in the center, can indicate alignment problems or worn suspension components. Remember folks, tires aren't cheap, so you don't want to be stuck replacing them prematurely. Now while we're down here, let's not forget about the windows and lights. Inspect the windshield and windows for any cracks or chips, as these can obstruct your vision and potentially worsen over time. And of course, test all the lights, including headlights, tail lights, brake lights, and turn signals to ensure they're in proper working order. Alright, we've conquered the exterior, now it's time to step inside and see what this car's cabin has to offer. Now, the interior of a car is like its own little ecosystem, and trust me, it can tell you a lot about how well the previous owner cared for their vehicle. First things first, let's talk seats. After all, you're going to be spending a lot of time in them, right? So, what are we looking for? Well, start by examining the overall condition of the upholstery. Are there any rips, tears, or stains? How about excessive wear and tear? Now, a little bit of wear and tear is to be expected, especially on older cars. But what you don't want to see are major stains, deep rips, or burns. Those are all signs that the previous owner might not have been the most meticulous caretaker. While you're at it, check the functionality of the seats as well. Make sure they adjust smoothly in all directions, both manually and electronically, if applicable. And don't forget about the seat belts. Give them a good tug to ensure they're securely fastened and retract properly. Alright. With the seats thoroughly inspected, let's shift our attention to the command center of the car, the dashboard. Now, the dashboard is essentially the nerve center of the vehicle, housing all the essential gauges, controls, and electronics. So, what are we looking out for here? Well, first and foremost, give the dashboard a good visual inspection. Are there any cracks, scratches, or signs of excessive wear and tear? These could be signs of sun damage or simply a lack of care from the previous owner. Next, it's time to bring those electronics to life. Turn on the ignition and test everything, and I mean everything. Check the headlights, taillights, turn signals, hazard lights, and interior lights. Make sure the air conditioning blows cold, the heater blows hot, and the radio works properly. Don't forget about the power windows, power locks, and any other electronic gadgets this car might have. And while you're at it, pay attention to any warning lights on the dashboard. A glowing check engine light or airbag light could be a sign of underlying mechanical or electrical issues. Alright, we're popping the hood and diving into the heart of this beast. Now, I'm not expecting everyone to be a master mechanic, but there's some basic stuff you can check even if you don't know an alternator from an air filter. First things first, we're looking for any obvious signs of trouble. Leaks, cracks, corrosion, you name it. Fluids are your friends here, so make sure they're topped off and look relatively clean. If something looks like chocolate milk, that's not a good sign. Next up, we're inspecting the belts and hoses. These guys are crucial for keeping everything running smoothly, so you want to make sure they're not cracked, brittle, or looking worse for wear. Think of them like the arteries of your car. You want them in tip-top shape. Now, for the underbody, now for the fun part, we're getting down and dirty inspecting the undercarriage. It's a good idea to have a flashlight and maybe even a mirror for this part, because you're looking for any signs of rust, damage, or anything out of the ordinary. Remember that rust can be a real killer, especially in areas where they salt the roads in the winter. A little surface rust might not be a deal breaker, but anything serious could mean expensive repairs down the line. This is also a good time to check the exhaust system for any leaks or holes. A noisy exhaust is one thing, but a leaky one could be a safety hazard. And while you're down there, take a peek at the condition of the suspension components. Now, if you really want to take things to the next level, you can invest in an OBD2 scanner. This handy little tool plugs into your car's computer and can read any error codes that might be stored. It's like having a direct line to your car's brain and can reveal potential issues that might not be obvious. Alright folks, it's time to take this baby for a spin. The test drive is crucial because it gives you a feel for how the car actually drives. And trust me, a car can look great on paper, but feel completely different on the road. First and foremost, pay attention to the overall feel of the ride. Does it feel smooth and composed, or does it rattle your teeth with every bump? Listen closely for any strange noises coming from the engine, transmission, or suspension. Next, we're testing the acceleration and braking. Does the car accelerate smoothly and confidently, or does it struggle to get up to speed? When you hit the brakes, do they feel responsive and firm, or do you find yourself having to stand on the pedal? While you're driving, pay attention to the steering. Does it feel tight and precise, or is there a lot of play in the wheel? And speaking of play, check for any unusual vibrations or shaking, especially at higher speeds. Don't forget about the suspension. A good suspension should absorb bumps and dips in the road, providing a comfortable ride. If you find yourself bouncing around like a basketball, that could be a sign of worn-out shocks or struts. And finally, let's talk about the little things. Are the air conditioning and heater working properly? Do the windows roll up and down smoothly? Are all the lights functioning correctly? These might seem like minor details, but they can add up to costly repairs down the line. Remember, a thorough test drive is essential for uncovering any hidden issues. Okay, so you've given the car a thorough once-over, and so far, so good. But before you sign on the dotted line, it's time to do some detective work and dig into the car's history. Think of it like a background check for your potential new ride. The key to unlocking the car's past is the VIN, or Vehicle Identification Number. This unique 17-character code is like the car's fingerprint, and it can tell you a lot about its history. You can usually find the VIN on the dashboard, driver's side door jamb, or on the car's title or registration. Once you have the VIN, you can run it through a vehicle history report service like Carfax or AutoCheck. These reports can reveal a treasure trove of information, including the car's accident history, mileage records, number of previous owners, and even if it's ever been reported stolen. Now, while a clean history report is always a good sign, it's important to know what red flags to look out for. For example, a salvage title could indicate that the car was previously declared a total loss by an insurance company, meaning it suffered significant damage. Another thing to watch out for is odometer rollback. This is a sneaky tactic used by unscrupulous sellers to make a car seem like it has lower mileage than it actually does, potentially hiding years of wear and tear. Multiple owners in a short period of time could also be a red flag, suggesting that there might be some underlying issues with the car that caused previous owners to sell it quickly. And of course, any mention of flood damage is a huge no-no. Remember, a car's history can tell you a lot about its current condition and potential future reliability. So take the time to do your research. It could save you a lot of headaches and money down the road. Alright, so you've inspected the car inside and out, driven it around, even channeled your inner Sherlock Holmes to uncover its history. You might think you're home free, ready to throw down some cash and drive off into the sunset. But hold your horses. We've got some paperwork to scrutinize. First up, the title and registration. These documents prove ownership and can reveal a lot about the car's past. Make sure the VIN on the title matches the one on the car. Seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people skip this step. We're talking about avoiding scams and potential legal headaches down the road. Next, examine the registration. Is it current? Does the seller's name match the one on the title? These details might seem small, but they're crucial for a smooth transaction. Remember, we're leaving no stone unturned. And here's a pro tip. If the title is signed over multiple times or has a branded title like salvage or rebuilt, proceed with caution. Now, let's talk service records. A well-maintained car is a happy car, and a stack of service records is like a health journal for your potential ride. It tells you what work has been done, when it was done, and ideally, where it was done. Look for regular maintenance like oil changes, brake jobs, and tire rotations. Consistent service is a good sign that the previous owner cared for the car. On the flip side, missing records or gaps in maintenance could be red flags. It might indicate neglected maintenance or even hidden problems. If the car is still under warranty, even better. Check if it's transferable and what it covers. A warranty can provide peace of mind and potentially save you a bundle on unexpected repairs. Always familiarize yourself with the terms and conditions. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about the car's history, the better equipped you are to make an informed decision. Alright, so you've inspected the car, dug into its history, and you're convinced this is the one. Now comes the fun part: negotiation. This is where you put your poker face on and try to score the best possible deal. First and foremost, be realistic. Don't expect to lowball the seller and drive away with a steal. Determine a fair price based on your research, the car's condition, and the current market value. Websites like Kelley Blue Book or Edmunds can be your best friends during this process. Once you have a number in mind, approach the negotiation calmly and respectfully. Highlight any issues you found during your inspection and use them as leverage. For instance, you could say, "I noticed the tires are a bit worn. Would you be willing to come down a bit on the price to account for that?" Remember, negotiation is a two-way street. Be prepared to compromise and walk away if the seller isn't budging or you're not comfortable with the final price. Sometimes the best deal is the one you don't make. Congratulations, you've successfully negotiated a price and you're ready to make this baby yours. But before you hand over the cash, there are a few crucial steps to ensure a smooth and legally sound transaction. First things first, get a pre-purchase inspection from a trusted mechanic. I know, another expense. But trust me, this is money well spent. A mechanic can identify any underlying issues that might have slipped past your eagle eyes. Next up, the bill of sale. This document outlines the terms of the sale and protects both you and the seller. Make sure it includes the agreed-upon price, the VIN, and any warranties or guarantees. And of course, get a receipt for your payment. This serves as proof of purchase and can come in handy for tax purposes. With all the paperwork in order, you're finally ready to hit the open road. But before you do, give yourself a pat on the back. You've done your due diligence, made a smart purchase, and now you're the proud owner of a used car. Enjoy the ride. So there you have it, folks. Everything you need to know to confidently navigate the wild world of used car buying. From inspecting every nook and cranny to decoding VINs and mastering the art of negotiation, we've covered it all. Remember, buying a used car doesn't have to be a daunting experience. By following these tips, doing your research, and trusting your gut, you can find a reliable ride that fits your budget and lifestyle. Now, I want to hear from you. Share your own used car buying experiences, tips, or horror stories in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more car buying adventures and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload. Until next time, happy car hunting.